In this video, I'm gonna make a complete multiplayer game in only 14 days. So the idea for the game is a free-for-all FPS game, but you can only shoot people on the head. So day 1, first we need a character for the game, and what's better for a shooter game than a medieval armor? Project name may not contain space. Okay. What is that? I need a new level. What is that? I need a sky. Let me just copy the sky from the first level. Okay, there's this easy to use tool to make simple maps for a game, but I'm dumb, I don't know how to use it. So let me watch a tutorial.
Hundreds different iterations of different static meshes. A lot when you're just trying to fit things into inside the subfolder, and it gets saved specific shape into specific dimensions.
Look, I don't think I understand what he's saying, but I managed to make this thing. So this is the game map for now. Now I want to change the character pose and take it to the engine. And finally, after 30 minutes of weight painting, watching some tutorials, experiencing true pain, Mi bomba! I finally did it. And since I want to use the procedural animation, I need to inverse kinematically rig my boy. And the process went very smoothly. I definitely did not encounter any problems. Okay, now time to actually add the procedural animation. I did tell you that I want the game to use procedural animation, right? Anyway, I start trying to find some YouTube tutorials, but there isn't really step-by-step tutorial of what I want. There is this one, but it tells you what to do, not how to do it. So I think I'll have to suffer until I can do it myself. So based on that tutorial, the first step is to lock the feet on the ground. Then makes the feet follow the body when it moves away a little. But right now it's just snapping. I need it to move slowly. Oh, it stopped working. Yeah, that's it. And obviously I need this on both foot, but not at the same time. So the first leg should wait for the other leg to complete its movement, then it can move, just like that. And then I need to make the leg go up a little bit, just to make things a little more realistic. And that's day 2. Okay, now the procedural animation is done. It's time to make the player character. So I did that and made it movable, like able to move. And it's looking good. Yeah, this is good. Now I need the player body to look up and down when you look up and down. And for some reason I decided to make it a procedural animation too. I mean, I could have just used an aim offset, which is the right way that people actually use to do this. So I started trying to learn how to do that, but for some reason I found myself trying to learn some advanced math stuff, like what is quaternions. Then I realized I don't need to learn about it. I could just copy everything from the internet, and it's working. But only here, it's not working for the player character. It should follow the red arrow, it's not following it. And I tried many things. I watched tutorials, I read articles, but it just got worse. Until I finally found out that all I needed was this little node right here. And it is working now. And that's all I did in day 3. Okay, if you don't know, a lot of FPS games use different hands for the player to see. So the hands that you see and the body that other players see are not the same. So now we have the body that other players see. So we need the hands that you gonna see. So I went to Blender and I removed all the unnecessary parts. And here we go, we have the hand. I also made the shooting animation. Then I added it to the character, and the reason it is too small is to prevent it from glitching and entering into the walls. As you can see, it looks good here. And I know this animation looks kinda slow and weird, but I think it will look good with the effect. After that I spent a lot of time deciding which type of jump I want for this game. Do I want it to be one long jump, double jump, normal jump? But the feet act really weird when you jump, and it's not funny, I need to fix this. I also added the procedural crouching, but I think it's too fast right now for someone crouching. Yeah, this is better. And as you can see, the jumping is looking good now. At least better than what was happening there. Then I started watching this Russian guy about how to use GIMP to texture character.
We have UV wrapped the barrel in the previous video. So the barrel has this nice UV map ready for texturing.
And this is how I decided to paint it for some reason. It's actually ugly. Also in the tutorial he added a text, so I wanted to do that too. I didn't know what to write, so I wrote king, but I didn't like it. So I translated to Chinese, cause why not? And then I tried to add blood, but it did not look like blood. So this is the final result. Also, it's about time to give the character a head. I first wanted the head to be a fish for some reason, but I couldn't find good models. So I started looking for cat head. I tried a couple of them, but they were bad, and then I found this one. So I took it to Blender and separated the head, then gave it some colors, and added to the character, and I like how it looked. Also the gun for the small hand and the big hand, and that's all for day 5. What you see right here is the shot trace, so if this trace hits you, you are dead. And since I want the game to have retro feeling, I'm gonna use 8-bit sound. So I download all these gunshot sounds, and made the pistol play a random one every time. I think it sounds good. Also this special sound when you hit someone. and basically did the same thing with jumping. So like a lot of sounds and picking a random one every time. Then I added this muzzle flash effect. It's supposed to be a muzzle flash effect, but it looks more like firework. But it's okay, cause this is a retro game. Then I created this effect for when you jump. That's a bit too big. And that's a little too small. And that's good. Also, I added this really cool and historic effect when you shoot someone. And now it's time to create the actual map. So I watched this tutorial on how to do it and I start working. But after literally more than 1 hour of work, I accidentally delete and lost most of the progress, and that's bad. So I closed the engine and this ended the 8th day. On day 9 I just remade the map, and on day 10 I finished coloring it. Then I added a shader to make the game looks more retro, and so yeah, this is it. This is how the game looks like. And the rest of the time I spent it doing some boring stuff, like adding the sensitivity settings, making the procedural animations looks a little better, making a simple main menu, and adding an actual online subsystem, which wasn't very easy, but yup, finally done. The game's finished.